Hello, everyone. Susan Gerbeck from Psychic Explained. This is the second reading in a series of 11 recorded on one gallery reading, one 90-minute reading session with Fraser recently. And you don't have to watch these in order, but I think that it's healthier to do so because you can see all kinds of different. I don't know. It's just more interesting to see them in order and to see how similar a lot of them are. One of the things I pointed out in the first video that we're going to see a lot of, because I've already watched all these videos, is that most people that his team is going to pull as the person who's getting read, out of all the gallery people that are there, are going to be multiples. And when you're cold reading, it's like Fraser does, and he's a good cold reader. He's very good at it, that your odds are higher if you select multiple people to be read than if you have one person on the screen. Then you have to have more direct hits. You have to keep it a little more general. But if you have two people or three people or four people on the screen, you're going to find that if whatever statement you make doesn't connect with one person, then it might connect with the next person or the next person. It's just a law of large numbers, and he uses that a lot. So of the 11 readings that we're going to watch in this series, 9 are multiples. Only 2 are single. And one of the single people, her husband's off camera and gets pulled onto camera. So 10 of the 11 actually have multiple people. And because during this session, the team members who are choosing who is going to be next, cold reading, they're not looking anything up. The person who's choosing who's going to be next, I don't think it's Matt, can see people on screen the whole time. So if the husband had been wandering back and forth, he's there sometimes, then if the screener is told, pick people in multiples, pick screens that are multiple people on there, that Matt likes that better. It feels like he's going to touch more people by having more people chosen. They might believe it, I don't know. Then the husband, like I said, who was in the room with the one single woman who's chosen. Anyway, this one has a couple. And you'll also see, I also see, men do not get chosen. This is a woman's thing. And if a man happens to be there, that's fine. But most, if not all of them, are females that seem to be the focus. So these two are going to get a reading. It's only 5 minutes long, so it's not very long. So let's get into it. Please leave your comments below, because there's a lot of things I'm not going to see that I know you guys are going to pick up on. You guys are really good at this, but this is cold reading. So if you start seeing and thinking, well, maybe they're plants or maybe it's hot reading, well, then you need to watch a lot more of these videos, because I'm telling you, when you've watched a lot and you've participated in a lot of these, you can see a cold reader and a hot reader. I mean, it's pretty obvious. So sometimes there have been some psychics that I've been like, he could have gotten that all from cold reading, but I guess it was hot reading, because he's reading a celebrity, not Matt Fraser, but like Tyler Henry. He could go in cold in some of these cases, and people will argue with me, and they'll go, no, he's hot reading. And I'm like, it could have been cold because he told him so little specific stuff, and the sitter gave him so much information that it could have easily have been a cold reading. So, but these are cold. All right, so let's check this out. I'll stop and start as we go, as the need to come up is there for me to say something. So take notes. I have a couple sentences written down from the first time I watched it.
I also going to go to Jackie and Isaac as well. We're going to come right over there. We're going to pull them up on the screen. Hi, Jackie. Hi, Isaac. How are you?
I'm good. Hi.
Where are you guys right now?
California.
Oh, good. I'm happy that you're here. So first of all, the moment I'm connecting, did you lose your mom? Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh no, then break it up. I feel like sometimes it's easier to contact the dead than it is the living sometimes. Can you guys hear me? I feel like I'm on a commercial.
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, so first.
We can hear you.
Yep, I can hear you guys. So it just cut
Okay.
out for a minute. I'm not sure the reason why. So first of all, no, there's a couple souls that are here. But first of all, did you lose your mom?
No.
Your mother's still here in the physical.
Yes.
There's this woman who's rushing to the front of the line that's right here, and it's telling me she was on life support before her passing.
Is that Aunt Valerie?
Yes. My Aunt Valerie.
Okay, was she like your mom? See, this woman's coming through. Almost
Yes, she was like everyone's mother and my mom's.
Okay. Her soul's here because she keeps telling me I wasn't supposed to die like this. I wasn't supposed to die like this. And when I'm connecting with her, she shows me that she says, I had health struggles that I was going through. But she tells me that she thought that she was going to get through this. What's crazy is that she's bringing me back through her passing, and she tells me about being rushed to the hospital. So when I'm connecting with her, she talks about being rushed to the hospital. She tells me that she was originally getting better, or they thought that they had her getting better. And then all of a sudden, she said to me she got hit with a double illness. Her soul's breaking through because she keeps telling me that she got sick again in the hospital or caught something in the hospital. Do you know that?
No.
Because when I'm speaking to her, here's what she shows me. I feel like I'm drowning when I'm connecting with this woman. There's all this fluid built up that's right here. How do you connect with the fluid built up? Or incapacitating her with her lungs?
Okay.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Did you hear what I said? She's talking about fluid buildup that was in here, and she keeps saying to me, Matt, it's like I drowned, it's like I drowned. I don't know if she got pneumonia or what this was, but whatever had happened, it attacked her lungs. And she shows me about her being on life support, and she keeps telling me, Matt, I have to tell my family that I did not plan to leave this world in this way.
Okay.
I need you to know that she's here right now, and also when I'm connecting, she's also bringing through a child that was lost as well on the other side.
Okay, I'm not laughing. I am not laughing at these people. All right, so this is a couple. He's got his arm around her on the couch. It's probably not a sister brother. This is probably a husband wife. And Matt, okay, like I said, he wants to have couples. So he says very clearly, did your mother pass away? Is she here? I mean, is she on the other side or whatever he said? He doesn't say to the husband whose name he knows, or the wife whose name he knows, because he just said their names and it's on the screen. I've got it blurred out. He does not say specifically, did your mother die? Did your mother pass away? He doesn't do that because he says, he just throws it out there because it could be either of them. You see? This is cold reading. This is so obviously cold reading. I mean, it's oh my gosh. And then he's like, well, I'm getting a woman who's rushed in. She's rushed in to be the one who gets a reading. And then he says, somebody who had really bad health problems and this and that. And the husband finally and the wife finally decide out of all their family members who this person might be, and they say it's Aunt Valerie. And he says, yeah, it might have been my Aunt Valerie. She was like everybody's mom. In other words, she's probably somebody who was alive a very long time, had large families, lots of events she was at, and she was like a matriarch, or at least somebody who was just very loving, and the family looked up to her, and you know what I mean? Like an aunt that maybe not even had kids, but was always there and always mothered everybody. Or she could have been a mom. I don't know. So So the sitters came up with somebody, but Matt could have just said her name, but he didn't. The other thing you'll notice, and if you watch the first video of this series, we're on the second one right now. But if you watch the first video, he says, I only get little snippets, little tiny bits of things like happy birthday or distance between people, or I'm only getting little tiny snippets of things. Well, now he's having full conversations about the aunt who's telling him about her lungs and how she had to go on life support and she was taken to the hospital and this long, all big old thing. So that's not like the little snippet. So the rules that Matt says he has, they don't apply from person to person. They change depending on what he's doing. So it just doesn't make any sense. So pay attention to that, how he says that all the time. He'll say those kinds of stuff. So the husband in this case doesn't look like he's buying any of this. This is all like, no, 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 which is one of the reasons why I think they don't like to do readings for men. Men tend to be very, no, I don't think so. Women tend to be, oh, yes, I'll figure out how to make that make sense someday, somehow. So they weren't really buying it. Now, it's also possible the family is trying, the couple is trying to make sense of it. They might be thinking, maybe it is an Aunt Valerie. Could that be grandma? You know, or something like that. Like, it's so vague because Matt's not being specific with a name or how long ago they died. And if it could be grandma, well, there's 4 grandmas. And if there was abuelas that were, you know, like aunts, tias, that a great tia, you know, somebody on that was, it gets, there's large numbers of people that it could be. So he's not quite buying that. She keeps getting sick. Why do these people want to talk about their last moments? I don't get it. Oh, she's trying to tell you that she didn't want to die like that. Okay, well, that's nice. But I think you're just making up stuff. All right, so let's go to the next part of this video. And a baby's going to come through, just like a baby came through in the reading right before this one, a miscarriage, because they didn't quite know what was going on. The reading I just did, number 1, there's a father figure holding an infant child, and the woman didn't know who it might be. So Matt says it was probably a miscarriage or a stillborn baby or something, you know. So now it looks like he's at it again. There's a lot of babies here.
Know that she's here right now, and also when I'm connecting, she's also bringing through a child that was lost as well on the other side. So when I'm connecting, was that your child that was lost?
I had a miscarriage.
Please know that that soul is also there. But did you actually have 2?
No, I only had 1, unless it was 2.
She's showing me, she's showing me 2 children that are here, like 2 babies that are here on the other side that are also there and with her. And then also when I'm connecting, is there also Sue or Susan connected?
No.
Okay. This would be on the other side, not here in this world. Sorry, I should have said that. So I don't know if that was someone connected to her or someone she's on the other side with, but I keep hearing that name. I keep hearing Susan's here, Susan's here. Her message to her family is this. She's coming through because she's talking about this misdiagnosis that she was going through here on Earth. And she keeps telling me, Matt, she goes, that even the doctors didn't realize how sick I actually was. She says I was fighting within my body. She says I was fighting to get better. But she keeps showing me about all of a sudden, it's like this hit her all at once and there was no way that she could recover. I also am hearing when I'm connecting with her this. She's bringing me back to the day that she died. And she keeps talking about everybody rushing to try to get to see her and to get to spend time with her here in the physical world. And I even see flights being booked when I'm connecting because she just showed me itineraries. So when I see that, it's her way of letting me know, I know that everybody was trying to get to me. But she keeps telling me, I couldn't hang on. Even though she was on that machine, or even though there was artificial means being brought to her, she tells me her soul was already on the other side. And she wants to thank her family and all of you for making the decisions for her, for doing everything that you could to try to keep her alive. And she wants to let you know that in spirit, she is fine. She wants to let you know that she's watching over the entire family on the other side. She says, and thank you for all the love that you've given me.
Mm.
All right. I'm gonna leave you with that. Thank you guys. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And this is crazy. This is how it works. As I'm connecting with you, right? I'm connecting with people. I'm also hearing the other souls that are here as well. So like even right now, I see that there's Lisa that's here. Is that Lisa Moisa that's here? And I kept hearing about this father that's there that's in spirit. That's on.
Okay, so we're going to go on to the next reading in the next video. He's already prepping it to go. One of the things that many people noticed when they're following this saga, because lots of people have seen these videos, the fact that he says that they're always talking to him, telling all this, his mouth is going all the time. How is it that these dead souls, not only the person they're connecting to right now, but all the others are constantly telling him something? He is talking. So does he have the ability to hear really well from dead people at the same time his mouth is running? Not sure how that works, but that sounds like a special talent he has. He's listening, he's hearing multiple souls, telling them apart from each other, and then he's also speaking at the same time and listening to what the person who the sitter is that he's giving a reading to. This guy is just amazing. I don't know how he does it. So, all right, so he said there's a miscarriage. Well, was it there's a baby, there's two babies. Was that yours? And she breaks down. She says, yeah, I had a miscarriage. And then he says, well, there might have been two. There's two. Again, what are we talking about here? So now I just put up a video. It's called Check Out This Interview with Psychic PI Bob Nygaard. And I put that up earlier today. You'll find it on my YouTube channel. And I really think that people should listen to this, because one of the things that Bob Nygaard focuses on is the world of the curses, people who say they have curses. So he's a private investigator. There's people who are, it's a different branch of the psychic world. And what they do is they find out something like you've had a miscarriage, and the psychic you're seeing will say that child is in purgatory, or that child is being threatened. Their soul is being threatened. They can't make it to heaven. And it's because of the evils of money and the evils of your wealth and your item, the material things you have. And if you give me this money, I will take it to the church and I will cleanse it, and then I'll give it back to you. If you give me your watches, if you give me your diamonds, I will take them to the church and I will cleanse them. Or they'll say I'll bury them, or they say different things. And of course, the person never gets them back. But it's more complicated than that. I know you're all saying nobody would fall for that. I assure you, people fall for this. There are people in prison, in jail, and so on, who have been convicted of doing exactly that. So if you watch the Bob Nygaard interview, you will understand the power. Did you hear how this woman started to cry in seconds? He said, I'm seeing somebody over there with a baby. This aunt, what is her name? Aunt Valerie. I see her with a baby. And the woman, he says, is that your baby? And she's like, boom, instant tears. This is a very emotional thing. And so, this whole idea of the pain and the harm that can happen to these people that are in vulnerable situations, it's incredible, just incredible. So I think this husband's going to go, that wasn't so great. I mean, why would Aunt Valerie come through? I mean, of all the people, we were hoping your mom would come, not your mom, your brother would come through, or something like that. But no, Aunt Valerie comes through, of all people. I mean, because there's a lot of people who died around you. Everybody's got somebody around you that's died, even if it might have been a teacher you had in school or a neighbor. I've seen these psychics that are cold reading pull up the guy across the street, or a teacher in elementary school or whatever. I mean, because they're desperate to pull somebody up. Oh, who's Charlie? I think he used to bag my groceries. Yeah, well, He wants to say hi. I'm not kidding. This is what happens. I love the part where there's a Susan there. Love that. I maybe I'll clip that. Well, he says on the other side, and I'm still here, at least at the time of this recording. Anyway, so I'm interested in your comments. I'm interested in what you guys think of this. And it's just very interesting, right? He's going to say the same tropes over and over and over and the same verbiage all the time. And if you start watching and you see how he's just like really running his mouth at the same time, he's supposed to be listening to the person he's reading for and the dead person that is supposed to be trying to get a hold of him and all the other dead people who are trying to get through. I mean, it's just incredible. I can't imagine what his brain is like. I mean, he's high energy. He's certainly higher energy than I am. He goes 90 minutes, no break, and he's talking the whole time. It's amazing. And he's got a very good memory. He'll start talking about something, and then at the very end, he kind of sums it up, and he'll say, "Oh, going back to somebody else." He'll say, "Oh, and remember when such and such came through?" He's got a very good memory. Well, he's young, I guess. Anyway, so this was a little shorter than most of the other readings I think that are going to happen, possibly because the father, the husband here, excuse me, he seems a little skeptical of this, and he's kind of like, I don't think this is so good. Maybe let's try for another psychic. And she'll be like, but honey, he knew I had a miscarriage. And really, he didn't know she had a miscarriage. All he knew is he threw out the trope of, is there a baby? And then said, is it yours? And she said, yeah, I had a miscarriage. So she's going to go tell her family and friends, oh my gosh, that miscarriage I had, there was actually 2 babies. I was going to have twins. Right. And Aunt Valerie came through, who was like a mom to everybody. Okay, I'm hoping I'm not forgetting anything on this one, but I'm looking forward to your comments. Everybody take care. This is video number 2 of 11.